With continuous embroidery, you stitch one design multiple times, either around a garment or down a border of a quilt. If your machine does not have the continuous embroidery feature, you can use this feature in the software to create your own continuous embroidery designs. We won't be using the multi-hooping toolbox in this case, but the design will need to be hooped many times. Software 9 has markers that can be digitized to help align designs like the one you see. In the digitized toolbox, you can select either basting stitch markers or graphic markers. Before adding the markers, first activate the grid. Right-click on Show Grid, place a dot by Show Design Grid, and place a check mark by Snap to Grid, and click OK. Click on Basting Stitch Marker. You have 4 different types of markers to use. For this one, I'll select Cross 2 and click OK. Zoom in and place the marker on a grid intersection. Notice how the grid changes colors when the cursor is right on the grid line. Place the marker with 2 clicks and press Escape. Select the marker, go to the Mirror Merge toolbox and select Mirror Merge Horizontal. Click on the screen when the alignment bar is at the center of the design. That will activate the marker on the other side. Select both markers, zoom out, and this time select Mirror Merge Vertical. Click on screen when your alignment guideline is at the center. Notice how the grid lines have changed colors. Click on the screen to activate, then select both of the bottom markers and change the color. Next, align the markers with the design. Select the markers in color film, hold down the Control key and select the design. Go to the Arrange toolbox and click on Align Top. The markers will move to align with the top of the design since the design was selected last. Repeat those steps to align your bottom set of markers. Select the other set of markers, hold down the Control key, select the design last, and then align bottom. You want to change the design sequence so the first set of markers stitch at the beginning of the design. So select the markers in color film and click on Move to Start. Also go to Design, Auto Start and End, and make sure that the start needle position is at the first stitch of the design and the end needle position is the last stitch of the design. Click OK. Remember that this will make the design not be centered in the hoop. So you'll want to right-click on the Show Hoop icon and uncheck at the start needle position and click OK. Your design is now centered in the hoop and ready to send to the machine. Let's look how this will stitch. The design will be repeated many times. You want to start stitching with this centered design, then stitch out from either side to complete your border design. Mark a line down the lengthwise center of your fabric border, then mark a cross mark at the horizontal center of the border. For the first design, it will be aligned with the center mark on your fabric. You can use Move Motif to make sure the needle penetrates the center mark of your border. Stitch the design, stitching both sets of markers. You will use the top 2 markers to align the subsequent designs. The top 2 markers do not need to be stitched. They are used for alignment purposes only. Make sure the needle penetrates the first stitch on both markers at the top. Then bypass the first set of markers, stitch the design, and stitch the bottom 2 markers for aligning the next design. Repeat this process down one side of the border. After completing the designs in one direction of your border, switch to the other direction, following these same steps.